Hey, here are 5 stupid things I've noticed since last time. Police are still killing people. American police, I should say, since last week Norway reported that its police officers haven't killed anyone since 2006. And during that same time period, only 14 people have died while in Norwegian police custody, and none have died in the last 2 years. Show-offs. American police, on the other hand, have killed nearly 700 people this year so far, according to the website killedbypolice.net. And you can add to that number the names of all the people who have died in American police custody, including Sandra Bland, Kendra Chapman, Joyce Cornell, Ralkina Jones, and Raynette Turner, all of whom were black women who died in police custody in the United States in the month of July. I'll say that again. More black women died in police custody in the United States last month than all the people who died in police custody in Norway in the last 2 years. Is Norway just that awesome, or are we just that terrible? Because I'm open to both. American dentist poaches famous African lion. As we've all heard by now, week before last, Walter Palmer, a dentist from Minnesota, paid $50,000 to local poachers to help him kill a protected lion at a national park in Zimbabwe. Cecil the lion, one of the most famous and beloved animals in the country, was lured off of the national park property, wounded, tracked for 2 days, and ultimately killed, skinned, and beheaded. A gruesome fate that, in a perfect world, would be reserved exclusively for trophy-hunting pieces of shit like Walter Palmer. Well, in a perfect world, there wouldn't be trophy hunting, but you know what I mean. Fuck this guy, and fuck every other trophy hunter right along with him. Muslim American accused of terrorism for wanting to build summer camp. Hey, here's a fun one. David Salah, who just so happens to be Muslim, sought a permit to build a summer camp on a portion of his property in rural Michigan, and was met with some very stiff resistance from many of his neighbors who demanded assurances from Salah that he wasn't going to use his summer camp to train terrorists. David Salah has lived in the United States since he was 8 years old. He is an American citizen. It just so happens that his wife and stepson are Christians. And late last month, his county planning commission voted to deny him the permit to build a summer camp because we live in a world where the fearful and willfully ignorant are empowered to make decisions that affect the lives of other people. See? I told you it was a fun one. Mike Huckabee might want to use federal troops to stop abortions. Republican presidential candidate and walking argument against a religious education, Mike Huckabee recently hinted that as president he would ignore the Supreme Court and essentially just declare abortions to be illegal. When reporters asked him if that meant that he would be willing to use the FBI or federal troops to violate the bodily autonomy of women, or, as he would presumably put it, protect the unborn, Huckabee said, "We'll see if I get to be president." So we won't see then. Ever. Good deal. Works for me. GOP stages gruesome train wreck live on Fox News. What was the worst bit of Thursday's primetime Republican presidential debate? Was it when Donald Trump reminded everyone of what a misogynistic asshole he is and drew applause and cheers for it? Was it the fact that they spent like a minute talking about racism and police brutality, but most of the last 10 minutes trying to one-up each other over who could hear the voice of God the loudest? Or maybe it was when Marco Rubio said that he believes God has blessed the Republican Party with all of these fine presidential candidates, while he was sharing the stage with his fellow candidates Donald Trump, Mike Huckabee, Rand Paul, and Ted Cruz, not to mention his own overmatched and underwhelming self. This overstuffed roster of Republican candidates has been compared by some to a clown car, and just like actual circus clowns, these candidates are not funny. They're creepy, they're kind of scary, and they stink of desperation and sadness. And soon, one of them just might be the President of the United States. The hardest part is only picking 5. Catch you next time.